They say the devil works hard, but I am the devil. Hi, ugly. It's me, Bussy, and welcome back to Hot or Rat. And today we'll be reviewing episode 7 of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 14. Our queens were challenged to overact, and the Daytona wins, a new soap opera that'll leave you gagging. Literally. And the runway category was Chaps. And today we'll be switching it up just a little bit by reviewing the challenge first and then ranking the runways from raw-est rat to hottest hot. And I've got a hot one in the chamber, so let's go ahead and break down what happened in that main challenge. Everything seems normal throughout rehearsal and the recording of this soap opera, and our 9 remaining queens were split into 3 feuding drag houses, set to celebrate or tear apart one ill-fated marriage. Kerri's our beautiful bride and Deja's her mother. The rest of the plot kind of loses itself along the way and doesn't really matter in the end because the big joke that the queens had no idea was happening was that post-production actually added in farts after pretty much every single line that was delivered. I think the fun part of this challenge was getting to watch the judges and each queen react to fart humor added into their lines, which admittedly was more fun than actually watching the fart jokes being delivered every 3 seconds for a solid 10 minutes. Because sure, I can get down with a good old gassy joke from time to time, but 10 minutes of it was a lot to shit through. Oh, wow, that pun. Overall, I have to say, I think the farts became more of a crutch than actually funny. Like maybe 1 or 2 strategically placed in each scene would have been refreshing. But a gassy explosion after every line? It was just a little too much. Like maybe I'm just a bitter old queen, but I think I only laughed 1 time in this challenge, and that was when Lady Camden burst through the doors in one of the last scenes, and Daya and Willow's group all go, VanMichaels? So yeah, this challenge definitely wasn't my favorite. I was actually expecting more of a traditionally edited soap opera with really dramatic camera cuts and angles and flashing things like those memes that we've seen of that lady in the car crash when she looks in the rearview mirror. You know the one. But instead, we got an acting challenge full of hot air. And despite the farts obfuscating everybody's performances tonight, I do think the judges got the calls right on who the top performers were. Camden, Jasmine, and Daya were all standouts to me, even though I was really more interested in them acting than them tooting. And while nobody did bad in this challenge, I think Deja and Angeria had some of the weaker, flatter performances that were helped most by the abundance of gassy explosions throughout this challenge. And yeah, they might have been in trouble had RuPaul not decided to save everybody, but we'll discuss more of that at the end of the video. But enough about passing gas. Let's leave Windy City and jump into these runways. First up and at the bottom of my list tonight, aren't you glad she wasn't wearing bed sheets again? It's Deja Skye. So I will say for Deja, this look is good. I was so happy that she tried something different. I just wish she had gone the extra mile with it. But I've gotta say, her body looks banging, she is proportionized correctly, and what she did here met the brief 100%. However, this look just didn't blow me away. I was looking for a concept, an era, an idea, something that almost every other queen did really well tonight. Deja's was more like, I'm gonna give you chaps on the runway because you asked for chaps on the runway. Beyond that, she gave me nothing. Like even doing something as simple as putting a little bit of leopard print into her makeup could have elevated this to at least the smallest next level, but she left us at ground zero. This look is a rat. Next up, let's take some vitamin J and head over to graduation. You know, cause Vitamin C, the artist that did the graduation song. Anyways, this look got a lot of praise from the judges tonight, but I wasn't so sure that I was at the same ceremony they were. Positives first though. I loved the yellow sequin sparkly fabric that was used to construct the actual chaps for this look. And I loved how those straps went from the very tippity-toppity of her shoulders down to the bottom of her boots. But after that, I lost her. The blue fishnet body stocking underneath these sparkly yellow chaps didn't make any sense to me. And the graduation ceremony cap and gown thing, I think was a really good idea, but needed to be taken a step further. Think about this. The front of that gown that was completely removed, I think should have been a tearaway. And the graduation cap tassel should have been, guess where? On the tatas. Now that I might have been gagging for. I definitely wouldn't hold Jasmine back from the next grade for this look, but I also wouldn't let her graduate yet. I'm gonna leave this at a rat. And in other news about Jasmine this week, she did come out as a trans woman in a very emotional Untucked episode, which as a friendly reminder makes her the 4th trans woman to be on this cast. You'll remember that last week we saw Bosco come out on social media before the episode aired. And again, I just want to say congratulations to these queens and all of the trans women that have competed on Drag Race in the past and that are there today. It's super exciting that we're finally in a time on Drag Race where people can truly live out and proud and be their authentic selves, no matter what sexual orientation or gender identity they are. But instead of just rehashing what happened in this Untucked episode, which I encourage you to watch, I do want to share Jasmine's Instagram post where she wrote a pretty long story sharing the details about her life and her journey to this point. She wrote, "Growing up, I always felt different. When I was 15, I stumbled upon continental pageantry. I still get chills to this day, thinking of the time I first saw Mimi Marks. When I saw her, I felt this rush of emotion I couldn't describe. It was the feeling of me wanting that for myself, to be a beautiful and confident trans woman." And that's just a short excerpt, but you can go and check out the rest of Jasmine's story on her Instagram. Send her some love. Next up, looking good and feeling Jorgeous. Miss George tonight is giving us a very pretty look, but maybe one that didn't quite meet the brief. Literally, the chap line, or stocking line, I should say, on this look literally did not meet the line of her panty brief. And it gave a very strange visual effect for the eye. Like she even says in the confessional voiceover for this look that it looks like her pants aren't pulled all the way up. And I'm like, is that a good thing? Is that a fashion thing? Is that something that we really want to be serving on the runway like that? I don't think so. It really just looks more like, to me, that the bottom part of her look didn't fit all the way and was simply being held up by this beige panty. And of course, obviously here, this look is definitely not Chaps, which was the runway category. That said, for all the problems I had with the bottom half of this look, the top half was top tier. This is maybe the most gorgeous that she has looked on the runway in this competition thus far. Oh my god. The jewelling, the stacked hair, the beat mug. Like, it must be said that Jorgeous knows how to serve a look even when it doesn't quite make the cut of the criteria. This look, I'm going to leave at a warming up. Next up, Colby. She is dripping in blonde braids and brown hair extensions from head to toe. And I must say, I do love the contrast of both the hair color and styling between the pieces making up the chaps and outfit and braids. And the best part of this look, I think, is seeing all the little peekaboos of her body as she turns around and shows us the missing hair pieces. Boom, boom, bam. Some small critiques here though. I'm not really sure why she chose this sun hat that has her head peeking through. I was kind of wondering, did she get some inspiration from Jasmine last week or just borrow her hat? From a stylistic point, I just don't really think that it matched the rest of the look and could have done without it. But she is serving chaps, and she did elevate the concept beyond just literally wearing chaps in a random fabric. So for that, I think she deserves a little praise. But as Coco Chanel says, she maybe could have looked in the mirror and taken one of the extensions or hat off, but I'm still gonna leave this look at a hat. Next up, blazer. I hardly know her. It's Daya, and I will say this is a very well put together and stunning look from Miss Daya tonight. But to her credit, she has been putting together pretty good runways every single week. It's just like the judges wanted her storyline to be that she wasn't doing well until this episode or something. I don't know. That said, is not even my favorite of some of the recent looks that she served. This look, I think, may have been a little more successful if it kind of didn't already have the winds taken out of it though from Alyssa Hunter's runway back when they did the J-Lo runway. It is very much of that same style. Daya's though, I think, was a little more reminiscent of the Britney Spears Me Against the Music video moment. And I really enjoyed everything about it, except I maybe would have swapped the hat that she's wearing for a fedora style hat instead of this like sun hat kind of thing going on. And okay, one more little change. I may have also swapped that panty line in the back for something a little more revealing. It's just a little too much class and not enough ass. Overall though, yes, I will invest in this look and I think it's hot. Next up, Angeria giving us Studio 54. Miss Angeria looking more beautiful literally every single week. Body, check. Hair, check. Makeup, check. Shoulder pads sky high, check. She's looking like the only disco ball, and I love this look. Side note, I feel like we've been seeing lots of disco inspiration lately in drag looks across the board. And girl, I'm always ready for a blast from the past. One small critique here, I will say, the middle part of the chest piece of this look maybe needed a slightly darker tone to really give us nude illusion, but that could have been the stage lights playing with that mesh fabric. Or maybe we could have lost that completely because I really wouldn't have minded seeing a little bit of Angeria brought us the Disco Inferno tonight. This look is hot. hot. Next up, one queen in the pink. It's Bosco. Tonight, Miss Bosco is giving me Xtina meets Flower Power 70s Judas Lady Gaga Motocross. Chaps the house down, boots Charlie XCX, yes, Gotto. And I love it. Like, Bosco has had some really fun runways, but I've gotta say, I have been waiting to see that, how do I describe it? Giant horned tits look from the first runway Bosco again. And this is her. She is really feeling the fantasy, and I felt it with her. This is definitely one of my favorite looks from Bosco so far in this competition. And I've gotta say, I love her in a long blonde unit. Plus, little devil tail painting or patch on the bell bottom of these pants was a really great detail. Because you know what they say, the devil is in the details. This look is hot. Next up, sorry about that, I must have tripped and fell. Where was I? Oh, right. Next up is Lady Camden. Obviously, while I was watching this runway, I was gagged, gooped, so confused and concerned when she tripped. Because as you know, they normally do like 2 takes for each runway, so I'm sitting there thinking, surely they didn't use the bad trip take for Camden. That would be really weird. And as soon as I heard that, oh shoot, from RuPaul, I was like, oh girl, something is going on. Something's a little strange. And then of course, the big reveal. She comes back up looking like Freddie Mercury. She's lost a wig, she's lost a skirt wrap, and she's gained a mustache. And I'm like, wow, this queen is so creative. Who sees a runway category of chaps and then thinks to do all of this? Like, this is the type of exciting craziness that I want to see on Drag Race. And I also want to point out, this is one of the best wig reveals that we have seen in a long damn time. The only reason this look isn't like at the top of my list tonight, despite how amazing and gag-worthy the performance and reveal was, is simply because the look itself, while exciting, is more on the simple side. And stylistically speaking, I would personally rather wear the next look that we see, but my god, what she did here was fabulous. It's not very often our runways take us all the way to Mercury. This runway performance was hot. Why is this such a serve though? I'm kind of living. And at the tippity top of my list tonight is Willow Pill. Put your paws up, little monsters. This look is wow. She's giving me like cyberpunk pop princess of the underworld. Like, she definitely knows the right after parties to go to. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also kind of obsessed with the idea that Willow does so many looks where her hands are just abnormally long. Like, we're kind of starting to see a trend here. I'm not sure what that says about her, but I love a queen that reaches for the sky with her looks. And also, I'm not sure if this was an intentional reference, but the hands reaching up above her costume very much reminds me of Simone's red finale look from her season. And I know the performance of Lady Camden's look was so amazing and probably will be many of y'all's hottest hots tonight, but I cannot get over the raw serve and creativeness behind this look. It's just jaw-dropping for me, and I love where she took this. It's dark, it's sexy, weird, campy, and fun. Everything that I want out of drag. Willow's look was a hair cut above the rest tonight. This look is hot. And concerning how everything shook out in today's episode. Even though we heard a lot from the Queen's bottoms tonight, there was no bottom 2. RuPaul decided to let everybody have a little breather of fresh, gaseous, farty air, and eliminated nobody. And really, I was fine with this because the judges spent so much time gassing everybody up and giving a lot of compliments to queens that I think they have spent time overlooking and, in some cases, maybe criticizing a little too heavily. And even though there were no bottoms in tonight's episode, there were 2 tops. 2 tops and no bottoms? That's a rare occurrence. Lady Camden and Daya end up lip syncing for the win, and I did react to this lip sync over on my Patreon at patreon.com/Bussy Queen. That's my members only website where my patron family gets exclusive member benefits like early access to my YouTube videos, access to exclusive videos, access to the Bussy Queen Discord server, and more. And you can join by clicking the link in the description of this video. See you there. My general thoughts were, this was a lip sync for the ages. Both Camden and Daya proved that they are superstars, and I just loved that this, from beginning to end, was Lady Camden's episode. She said, "Do you want me to speak up?" Boom. "You want me to give great looks on the runway?" Bam. "You want me to give you what is probably going to be the single best lip sync of the entire season?" Here it is. Eat it up. Splits, jump, camp, drama, comedy. She had it all. She was on fire the entire time and she knew it. And for someone who has been doing so well in this competition yet has yet to secure a win, it felt really right to finally see it happen. So a much deserved congratulations to Camden on this win. And my hottest hot on the runway tonight, as you know, goes to Willow. I also asked my patrons to vote on their hottest hot, and they voted for Lady Camden. And as always, I want to say thanks so much to you for watching today's video and give a special thanks to my generous patrons who make my channel possible. And I also want to give a special shout out to Aliao, Cyrus, Angel, Dicky, Felicia, Hector Simancas, JB Jeffrey, Joseph Josh, JP in Dallas, Laura Lisette, Mark James, Matthew Burns, Matthew Bauer, Maxilo Wow, Miss F, Neely, Ryan Beans, Scooby Snacks, Sailor, Steven, Tom Jaco, Tom Young, Topher A, Triton, and Yeeji, who are all supporting me at my Bussy Queen collector tier over on patreon.com/Bussy Queen. See you later. Love you. Bye. And some water. I'm trying to be excitable but quiet. Oh girl, Freddie Mercury, who?